I just spent 30 minutes on Google looking up expert predictions for Friday's Cotton Bowl matchup between Texas and Ohio State. And in that half hour, I couldn't find a single person that is picking Texas to win. Nobody is giving the Longhorns a chance, except me, apparently. What's up, guys and gals? Welcome in to another edition of the BK Show. I'm your host, BK Brad Kellner. Hope everyone is having a great week so far. We are 2 days away from Texas taking on the Ohio State University at the Cotton Bowl in Arlington, Texas. And y'all heard me. I spent 30 minutes scavenging the interwebs for Cotton Bowl picks. I searched Cotton Bowl predictions, Cotton Bowl picks, Texas Ohio State picks, Ohio State Texas picks, Texas Ohio State predictions, local singles in my area, and a few other things too. And I know what you're thinking. I need a hobby. But I found 20 experts who gave score predictions for this game, and all 20 of them picked Ohio State to win. Not only that, 18 of those 20 picked Ohio State to cover the 6-point spread. So all 20 picked the Buckeyes to win. 18 of 20 picked the Buckeyes to win and cover. Some of those names include Joel Klatt from Fox Sports, Josh Pate, Brad Crawford from 24/7 Sports, David Pollack of ESPN, Paul Feinbaum, supposed to be the SEC guy. Even he is picking Ohio State to win and cover. Jason McIntyre from Fox Sports, Max Chadwick, Dalton Wasserman from Pro Football Focus, Joe Tanzi from Bleacher Report, all 6 people who picked games for Athlon Sports. All of them picked Ohio State to win and cover. And I guess we've got to shout out Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports and Zachary Cohen of VSiN for being the only 2 that picked Texas to cover. Neither of them had the Longhorns winning, but they both thought the Texas Longhorns could at least keep it within 6. A lot of those names I mentioned are household names, right? People we as college football fans know and like and trust. And again, not one of them is going with the Longhorns. What is happening, guys? I thought Steve Sarkisian was being overdramatic last weekend when he said, quote, nobody's going to give us a shot, end quote. I thought he was just playing that up a little bit, right? Coaches do that all the time. They play the underdog card to try to get their guys ready to go. Hell, Kirby Smart at Georgia does it better than anybody, even though his team is almost never the underdog. He always finds ways to convince his team that nobody believes in them. I thought that was Steve Sarkisian trying to take a page out of Kirby Smart's book. I thought he was just trying to get his guys a little bit more amped up for this game on Friday. But apparently, he wasn't doing that because he was right. Nobody is giving Texas a shot. This has turned into David versus Goliath, the JV against the varsity, boys against men, Joes versus pros, whatever you want to call it. That's what this game is turning into, and I can't figure out why. Look, I get why Ohio State's favored. Out of the 12 teams that made the college football playoff, nobody has looked better than Ohio State. What they did to Tennessee in round 1, very impressive. What they did to Oregon in the Rose Bowl in round 2, very impressive. They have looked great. But who's the higher seed here? Who's the team that played in its conference championship game here? These teams played a common opponent this year. Which team beat that common opponent here? By 3 scores on the road. Ohio State? No, wasn't them. Oh, it was Texas. No way. It was Texas that did all of those things. Apparently, if you're like me and you think Texas even has a chance in this game, you are in the minority. And it's a quiet minority, right? There have been a lot of people who have been very loud about picking Ohio State. Keep hearing the word buzzsaw. Keep hearing the word unbeatable. You keep hearing the words no chance when talking about Texas going up against the Buckeyes. I mean, people have put this Ohio State team on a pedestal, and it's not just the loudmouths on TV, it's the public. 90% of bets have been coming in on Ohio State. So I'm almost surprised that the spread hasn't gone up to 7, 7.5, 8. the way people are talking about this game and the way people are seemingly betting on this game. Now, I'm not surprised the general public is all over Ohio State. The general public loves to bet favorites. And here's something that I think is working in Ohio State's favor from the public perception standpoint. That's also working against the Longhorns right now. Everybody was watching on January 1st. Everybody saw Texas need 2 overtimes as a 14-point favorite to beat Arizona State. And then right after that game ended, everybody stayed on their couch to watch Ohio State beat the brakes off of Oregon. I mean, the Buckeyes were up 34-0 late in the second quarter. Everybody saw that. Not even everyone watched the first round of the playoffs. Remember, on that Saturday, when Texas played Clemson and Ohio State played Tennessee, you had NFL games. There was an NFL doubleheader going on at the same time. And we know the NFL dominates the television ratings, whatever you want to call it. So not everyone saw that game. And then you go back to the regular season, right? I mean, there are hundreds of college football games that get played every single Saturday. And most college football fans are watching their favorite team play, and maybe they'll watch a primetime game or two. Now, some of y'all watching this video, maybe you're like me and you're watching dozens of games every Saturday, but Gen Pop, if you will, is not watching every single snap of Texas football during the regular season. They're not watching every single snap of Ohio State football during the regular season. So everybody saw what happened on January 1st. Everyone was home from work. There were no NFL games going on that day. There were really no other sporting events of note going on that day. And everybody got to see on the same channel, back-to-back slots, Texas really struggle with Arizona State and Ohio State do what they did to the only undefeated team in college football. So I think that's easy to explain why the general public is leaning so heavily on Ohio State. But come on, the experts? Did the experts not watch the Michigan game? Did the experts not watch the Nebraska game? The experts not watch the first Oregon game? Like, Ohio State has looked beatable. They have not been a perfect team this season. They're an 8 seed for a reason. They didn't play in the Big Ten championship game for a reason. So I think Texas has a shot. Sue me. Now, will the Longhorns have to play a great game to win? Absolutely. Are they capable of that? Absolutely. We've all seen them play a hell of a lot better than they played in the fourth quarter and in overtime against Arizona State. If you've been watching this Texas team play, you know they are capable of running it better than that. You know their defense is capable of putting together a better performance than that. You know this team has what it takes. There's not this major talent gap that everybody seems to be talking about. I saw Matt Miller, who covers the NFL draft for ESPN. He says 21 players in this game have top 3-round grades for him in the upcoming NFL draft. 11 from Ohio State, 10 from Texas. That's not some major difference there. Look at the blue chip ratio of recruiting talent on this team. Yeah, Ohio State's got a slightly higher percentage of blue chip talent, but it's very slight. Texas has a bunch of 4 and 5 stars on their team as well. So Texas is talented enough to run with this Ohio State team. The Longhorns are capable of playing a much better game than they played against Arizona State. And come on, is Ohio State capable of playing a bad game? Yeah, absolutely. Have we seen it in the college football playoff? Absolutely not. Did we see it on the last week of the regular season? It's not like that Michigan game was in August or September. That was a month ago in December at home. Ohio State as a huge favorite in a game that nobody thought they were going to lose, played like crap, and they lost. All of a sudden, Ryan Day is the best big game coach in America. Weren't people calling him the Michael Jordan of James Franklin like 3 weeks ago? What's going on here? Now Ryan Day isn't going to slip up. There's no chance he messes up in this game. All of a sudden, Will Howard. Oh, I thought Kyle McCord was better than Will Howard. I thought Ohio State made a mistake letting McCord leave in the transfer portal. Now all of a sudden, this guy CJ Stroud. What happened? 2 games? That's all it takes? 2 games? We're ignoring the first 12 games that Ohio State played this season. I mean, more people were picking Texas to go on the road against a Nick Saban-led Alabama team in week 2 of the 2023 season than they are in this game. That's being played in Arlington in front of a pro-Texas crowd. More people thought Texas, coming off of an 8-5 season in 2022. We're going to go on the road against the greatest coach of all time and beat his team than they think is going to beat this Ohio State team on Friday. It's crazy to me. By the way, that game in Tuscaloosa back in September of 2023 was the last time Texas was an underdog. And not only did they cover the spread, they won that game outright and handed Nick Saban the worst home loss in his Alabama career. I think if you're a Texas fan, you probably know that. So there's a path to a Texas win. Don't let the national narratives fool you. There is a path to a Texas win. And it's not just hoping everybody on Ohio State orders pizza from the same Utah joint that Mike Jordan did in 97, right? If Texas can bring its A game, they can hang with these guys the way Michigan did, the way Nebraska did, the way Penn State did, the way Oregon did the first time around. This is not a video saying Ohio State's not good. Once again, I see why they are favored, but this team is not invincible. This is not going to go down as one of the greatest college football teams of all time. This ain't 2019 LSU. This ain't 05 Texas or 04 USC or 01 Miami. This ain't one of those teams. They've slipped up a couple of times. One of them was to a team that Texas beat handily in their house. So they are vulnerable. They are not perfect. And I am just flummoxed. It's a word I don't use very often, by the lack of people giving Texas a chance in this game. Again, 20 expert predictions. And I only Googled for 30 minutes, right? Maybe there's a few that I missed. Maybe there are a couple of folks out there that don't cover Texas or root for Texas that are picking Texas to win this game on Friday and advance to the national championship. But 20 expert picks that I found from some reputable names, all 20 have Ohio State winning. 18 of them don't even think Texas can keep it within one score. I can't quite figure out what is happening there. I mentioned it in the video we did yesterday with Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 and Texas Sports Unfiltered. I'll put a little link to that. I gave some keys, and Eric did too, to a Texas Longhorn victory. There is a path for this to happen. Once again, Texas has to play great, but they can get it done. For everybody just assuming that this is going to be a cakewalk for Ohio State, come on, man. Like, watch other games besides the Peach Bowl against Arizona State. This Texas team is well coached. They are incredibly talented. They are experienced. And they've got what it takes to pull off what apparently is becoming a David versus Goliath upset at Jerry World on Friday. All right, if you made it this far in the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Ohio State fans, appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm worried some of you guys are going to thumbs down this video, but whatever. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Enjoy the game. I'm actually making my way up to the Metroplex a little bit later today, so looking forward to being there in person, but appreciate you guys. This channel has been a lot of fun so far. Just a weekend of the BK Show. Already over 500 subscribers and more than 3,000 hours of watch time. So you guys and gals have been great. Excited to grow this thing together. Let me know in the comments what you think. Does Texas have a chance against Ohio State, or are all of these experts right with their predictions? Would love to hear from you. Send your score predictions in the comment section below. All right, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank y'all for the continued love and support. Remember, when you watch the BK Show, you rule. See y'all tomorrow. Hook 'em.